Okay, so this video is to answer somebody's question. She asked the question and said, what were the do's and don'ts while we were courting? So before we answer this question, there is a fun fact. We courted over long distance. In fact, there is another fun fact that I should keep, and maybe I'll say it some other time. Or should you say it?
You're the one doing this fun fact session. I want to answer question.
I'll keep it.
Okay.
But I think I'll let him go now. I'll let him answer the question because he was acting like a policeman during courtship. I mean it. He was acting like a policeman. I was at a point I was wondering, am I sure I can cope with this guy when we eventually get married? Because his rules were so much that I didn't know that I would I could stick to it. And am I lying? So I was acting like a policeman. Yes, I said it. I said what I said. Your leg is going down, or is my weight that much? Carry me where
The tire
we
of
will
the
not
car is
allow the
less.
single breathe.
All right.
Yeah.
First and foremost, to understand my answers, you need to accept first that the police is your friend. All right. Do's and don'ts. The first one I can remember was do not break the line of communication beyond half a day.
Yeah.
I'm the one now who has given it a duration, but it was do not break the line of communication, and that also included ensure you pick calls. And if for some reason you can't, tender an explanation. So it was that constant consensus communication. You don't take the other person for granted. The second was to make sure that we are appropriately dressed during
Yes.
any video call.
This man did not allow me wear sleeveless, something like this during courtship. You will tell me go back and dress well. Go on.
You go explain, Taya.
Evidence.
I don't. That's not what we're talking about. She was sleeveless countless times. I don't know what she said. But of course,
you tell me to go and cover myself.
For someone like me, I knew that I had to appear well covered. Because another do's and don'ts. I think we had. I think I've given two. Maybe you can give one or two more.
Give one more before I give you. Which is even coming to mind? Okay. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the one who said I'm policeman that I had many.
Yes, now that's why I'm saying
having
you should
difficulty
say them.
remembering. Okay. Okay. No, I think that was it. Then the other was that whenever we had personalities in our relationships that we had issues with, we had to agree who to communicate with and what to say. We had to be on one mind with controversial characters. So in other words, whenever we had identified that someone may be a problem for both of us, we had to agree with ourselves and say this is how we would relate with this person. Not that one is on one mind and say, oh, it's my dear friend, it's my close friend. I even had a friend at the point in time, she told me and said, this person, I have an issue with this person. And I told her, I said, okay, that's all right. I agree with that analysis. So regardless of who it was.
Not on a sentimental basis.
Very objective. It came from both sides. People were even held dear. So those were some of our do's and don'ts. Now, because it was long distance, the do's and don'ts may be unique to long distance, but these are the ones I can remember. Oh, and of course, no erotic
That's
discussions.
what I want to say, John. Yes, no erotic discussions, no kissing,
no innuendo even.
Yeah.
Even to say, I love you. At the point, I had to ban that one. Okay. Yeah. So those are things I can remember.
Yeah. No kissing. No funny kind of hugging.
How can you do? Okay, during courtship. Okay.
Yes. Now. Okay. When it continued when you came back.
Yes. No
funny hugging.
Full body hug.
No full body hug. No kissing. No pecking. No touching. No petting.
No unnecessary touch. Because I could hold your hand.
Yes. So nothing. So those were our rules.
Oh, I know. Well, this one. Let me see.
Okay, let me quickly say this.
Yeah.
We were also answerable to, we had authorities we were answerable to.
Mm,
And so when we had, during courtship, when we had misunderstandings,
mm,
we would agree on who to relate the issue with. So I can't just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm going to tell so person because I feel like," and he would say he wants to go and tell another person. We
mm,
agree, okay, we have a problem on ground. We are not agreeing. We
mm,
have a fight. Let me
mm,
put it like that. Not
mm,
like we have a fight. Who are we involving in this? So it is
mm.
a rule that we must involve the same. We must agree on who to involve in our fights.
Yeah, and the agreement thing also applied to decision making. If we were on opposing sides of a decision to take, we would hold off action until we had sorted it out. Oh, and finally, for arguments, I won't call it a rule per se, but whenever one person was unhappy, we tried as much as possible not to disregard or ignore it.
Yes,
Even if
yes,
we truly did not agree with the justification for it, to make sure communication proceeded, we would
yes,
say, okay, I see
yeah,
I've hurt you. Sorry about that. Or
yeah.
just show some level of concession, show some level of acknowledgement and empathy. Because in courtship, I learned that it was more than winning an argument. If I win the argument, but her feelings are hurt, even if it's for the wrong reason, I've lost the war.
Mm,
And I think for both of us, that made us feel terrible. So in courtship,
mm,
we fight fair.
mm. Even
Whatever,
still in marriage, you are still fighting fair now.
yes, no low blows. Don't use those privileged information you have to tell half truths that will pull down the spirit
Yeah.
of your partner. So those are do's and don'ts that, yeah, I think we tried applying in
Yeah,
courtship.
and another one that is related to that is when you notice that your partner is not happy with you. That's when I notice he's not happy with me. I may not even be aware that I've done something wrong or his mood has changed.
Mm.
And I think maybe it has to do with me. I would ask him. So it is an unwritten rule, really. No, I don't think it is unwritten. I think we discussed it.
Later
When you
in
see,
marriage.
yes, we discussed it later in marriage. So
Mm,
when you see that I'm not happy with you or he's not happy with me,
mm,
the rule is you have to ask,
mm,
have I done anything to make you angry? Why are you sad? Why are you not your normal self?
mm,
So we have that rule. It is a very, very standing rule. Once one of us is not happy or is not behaving the way he should, it is the responsibility of the other person to ask,
mhm,
why are you feeling the way you are feeling?
mm,
Why did I hurt you? What are you thinking? Why did you sound that way?
mm, mm.
So we do that. Then another one that I just remembered now, and I think I've forgotten again. Okay, yes, one of those rules is that we also talked about um monthly review or periodical review.
This one came up in marriage.
I think we talked about it in during we talked about it during
Courtship.
courtship too.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
late courtship. So occasionally I can just ask him, okay, review me within the past 1 month. What do you think are the things I've done that you don't like?
Yeah, she's the one that brought that up,
Yeah.
and for me, I felt it was very proactive, very sincere, very humble. Because when somebody opens himself and say fire bullets, it tells you two things. It tells you the person is secure in himself, and then the person also trusts you to not shoot him,
Mm,
even if you want to shoot. You will
mm,
find a way to shoot a very sugar coated bullet. So he trusted me to handle our emotions well, and I consider it admirable. Something I learned from, and I'm still learning on that one. Okay.
mm. So that's just about it, and it has saved us huge problems. That
Mm.
saved us from having. We've not had any serious misunderstanding within the past 1 year of marriage. We've not.
What is
It's
a
just
serious misunderstanding?
yes now, like serious fights that will go days without talking to each other.
Mm. Or somebody has, you have to call somebody to beg somebody to
Yes, or
talk to
somebody will
somebody.
now interfere
Yeah.
and be saying what happened. What? No, we've not had such kind of
To the
misunderstandings.
glory of God, though, it's not as
Yes,
if somebody has not been tempted to.
yes, yes. So, so I think we've answered. We've spent almost 10 minutes answering this question. So,
Yeah.
thank you for listening.